All eyes will be on downtown St. Pete next month as a huge event returns. One of your favorites.
Absolutely. In fact, more people over the 3 days attend this event. 150,000 people attend, and that's more than the Super Bowl.
No way.
Yeah, Indy cars will take over the waterfront streets for the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Race in the Verizon IndyCar Series happens next month right here in the Bay Area. With us now are a couple of drivers you're going to see roaring around the streets of St. Pete and what's billed as the world's fastest spring break party. Here are IndyCar pilots Will Power and Colton Herta. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for stopping in today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Colton, I think baseball fans would be excited to know that you have teamed up with the Steinbrenners of the New York Yankees and the Andretti's, obviously, to sponsor your Indy Lights car. How did I didn't even know the Steinbrenners were interested in racing. I think that's so cool. How'd that happen?
Bit of an odd combination, but so actually my dad, who raced in Indy cars,
the great Brian Herta,
some might say, he raced against George Michael IV, who owns the team, his stepdad, and that's where the relationship built. He wanted to own a team, and this just came together, and it worked.
Well, I think that's got to be exciting. I know you spent a while racing in Europe, and I know the Europeans race American drivers pretty tough. So it must be nice to come home and race here in U.S. soil. You're looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, it's going to be
You're
good.
16 years old, and you've been racing since you were 10?
12.
12?
Racing cars since I was 12.
Racing cars. Maybe like go-karts you started at. Boy, so Brian had you started early.
I wanted to start. He didn't push me.
Well, good luck. We're looking forward to seeing you in the Indy Lights Series. And Will, if you're not familiar with IndyCar, this guy, Will Power, is a guy, you thrive on adversity. I remember back in '09 when you had that accident at Sonoma, you were laid up for a while with a broken back. Were you at one point thinking, my career is over? What were you thinking when you were laying there in the hospital? Because it was a long recovery, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was actually. I think as I was getting airlifted away, I was thinking this is, it was a great shot. It was my first ride with Penske, so that was a real setback. But when I was in the hospital, Roger Penske called me and said, "Don't worry, take your time, take as long as you need to recover, and you've got to ride with us."
Right.
Yeah.
So last year, during qualifying for the St. Pete Grand Prix, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you broke your own track record, twice during qualifications?
That's right. Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. I think so.
See, his greatest competitor is himself. But then, so you're set on the pole position, you're ready to race, and then you came down, I think on Saturday, before the Sunday event, you had an ear infection or something?
I had,
what was that?
I'd hit the wall. I had concussion-like symptoms, with headaches, nausea, that type of thing. So IndyCar deemed that I couldn't race.
Right.
So basically then went to a bunch of tests and all that, and kind of think it was an ear infection.
But again, in keeping with the thriving on adversity theme, here you are, you have to miss the first race of the season, and then you were still in the championship hunt up until the last race of the season.
Yeah.
So when you had to sit out, did that make you try all that much harder?
Actually, it was, I was struggling physically too. I had a few food allergies. It was a tough first half of the year, I have to say, in the races, but it turned out to be a great season. It really did. I won 4 races in the space of 6 events, which was amazing. I didn't think that was possible, and was a contender right till the end.
Yeah.
So I was happy with the season, even though I finished second.
Well, I'd say it was a heck of a run, and you got to think, boy, if you just had that one race back. But you're a former champion, so you've been there before. They're setting up the track in the streets of St. Petersburg as we speak, and parts of it have been resurfaced. I know there have been some bumps in years past. Have you walked around down there yet, or?
I've heard that they resurfaced the whole thing.
They did, okay.
Including the runway, so the track is going to be phenomenal.
Why do the drivers all like St. Petersburg so much? I know in this time of the year, of course, it's warmer here than in a lot of spots where you guys live, but what is it about the track that everybody seems to enjoy it?
It's the location, for starters. I mean, to start the season off in a place like it's so warm, there's beaches, it's on the water, and it's a cool track. and it's very fan friendly. You get a massive crowd, and people are really passionate about the IndyCar sport here in this area. So
well, and you kind of own this track too. We got some.
Yeah, it just flows for me, man. I don't know. People ask me, "Well, is it a difficult track?" And I say, "No, I really just click with this place."
He'll actually be driving blindfolded this year, so that'll be just to give the other drivers a chance. That'll be something cool to see. You've got some new things on the aerodynamics of the cars this year. We're almost out of time, but I have to ask you: do you think this is the year where we're going to see lap times? And bear in mind, folks, this is a 1.8 mile, 14 turn course. These guys get around it in about a minute. Do you think we'll see sub 60-second lap times this year?
I think for sure, actually. With the track resurface and all that, I think for sure, unless it rains or something, I think a track record will be broken. And I'm really hoping it's me.
You'll do it again. You'll break your own track record multiple times. You also did, a few years ago, I wanted to ask you about this. You did a voiceover in an IndyCar animated feature, Turbo.
Yeah, that's right.
What was that experience like?
It was actually pretty cool. Getting animated as you're doing it, speaking it, and then you realize everyone's watching you. I walked out of the studio and then realized like 10 people in there watching me do this, being all animated, and which I'm not usually, but I got right into it.
It was pretty cool. Well, hey, thanks for being here. Will Power and Colton Herta. You can check them out at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg the weekend of March 10th through 12th. 3 big days. The main event, of course, on Sunday, and gpstpete.com, the website for tickets and more information. Thanks again, guys. Coming up.